So I knew nothing about A Song from the Dark going in, besides people promoting it solely because of the races of the actors involved, and then dunking on it for the same reason. Humans being humans, I guess. So realizing that it's a horror film, I decided to throw caution to the wind and give it a shot. Was it worth it? Well, first off, the plot centers around a mother who, after the mysterious death of her husband, hires a reluctant spirit hunter to expel an evil entity that is tormenting her family. Sounds rather straightforward, doesn't it? Well, not quite. The spirit hunter, we'll call her Ash for pronunciation's sake, works with a dirtbag that steals her profits and sometimes doesn't even pay her for her contribution, even though she's legitimately doing all of the work, something that dirtbag literally states, causing her more of a reason to dislike her ability regardless of the help that she is able to give others. So whenever the woman, whose family is being haunted, requests Ash's help, it would make sense for her to decline, right? See, there's just one little problem with that. She has a personal connection to the cursed family and feels obligated to help even as things get far out of hand and the movie goes on. Which I guess gives us a good point to talk about the pacing. The movie starts off strong with an emotional scene that might hook you right in. However, as the film drags forward, the pacing becomes uneven. There are moments of intensity, of fear, of horror, followed by slower, more drawn out scenes that can feel a bit tedious, especially with how we jump from character to character so often that it legitimately becomes hard to keep track between the film's acts. This inconsistency is jarring, confusing at times, and can even be boring. If I don't have a steady character to care about, then it's hard to care about those slow and character-driven moments, you know? Since we're on the subject, I gotta say that the characters are a mixed bag themselves. On one hand, you have some really well-developed characters like Ash, whose backstory and motivations are explored in depth, even if we don't spend as much time with her as I'd like at first. Which is why, on the other hand, there are too many freaking characters introduced in ways that feel rushed and confusing. It's like the filmmakers tried to cram in as many personalities as possible without giving them the proper development that they deserve. This leads to some characters feeling wasted and underutilized. No, actually, it leads to all but like 2 feeling that way. I just didn't latch on to or truly care about any of them outside of Ash, since most of the others had random bursts of outright stupidity that would downright ruin their characterization for me. But the acting behind these aggravating characters is, well, it's one of the film's strongest points. The cast delivers stellar performances across the board, and given I never recognized a soul from any other movie or show I've watched, I was really surprised by that. The lead actress in particular does a fantastic job of conveying fear, determination, and vulnerability, which she also has to contrast with moments of straight up strength and a take charge type of demeanor. I was really impressed by her range here, I have to admit. The supporting cast also holds their own, elevating the iffy writing and at least making the characters easy to watch, even if they aren't easy to care for. It's clear that everyone involved gave it their all, and it pays off in spades, so good on them. The directing part is pretty good too, especially considering the challenges of blending African folklore with modern horror elements, you know, without it feeling forced in. However, the direction sometimes lets me down when it comes to maintaining a flow. There are multiple acts, and they just don't all feel like they fit together quite right, which is why the pacing is such a mess. The ambition is evident, don't get me wrong, but it just can't accomplish all it sets out to do in the time limit that it has. It tries so hard to be artsy at times that it kinda feels like something that I'm not supposed to enjoy. Although I say that when it comes to the effects, A Song from the Dark actually doesn't disappoint. The practical effects, especially the gore, didn't let me down. The supernatural elements are also pretty good. I like the use of practical effects, so I always gotta give credit for that, and I didn't think the digital effects were that bad either when they were used, which was sparingly, and I'm thankful for that. The scares, the movie has its fair share of these like tense moments, but not many that I would actually consider scary. There are some genuinely terrifying scenes, don't get it twisted, but they were few and far between, too few for me. They are inconsistent for a lack of a better word. Some are well executed, while others feel a bit predictable and cliche. It's a bit of a mixed bag. It's trying to let the story take the reins, which it isn't able to do until the back half of the film, which is ironically whenever the scares get better as well, but it feels kinda hard to justify making it all the way to that act whenever everything else is so frickin' meh. Even though it's not an M. Night film, one of the film's biggest highlights though is its plot twist. The major one flips the entire perception of the characters upside down. It makes you rethink moments between them and why they may have acted as they did. It brings motivations into consideration and really changes the situation in a clever way that I have to bring up and admit to, credit where it's due. But it's not enough to make all of this film in its entirety good. The use of Nigerian religious elements is good, the acting is good, the plot twist is good, but when everything comes together, it just doesn't quite hold up. If it ditched a chapter format for the acts, I believe it would have went better. If it focused on Ash and the family from the get-go, and done away with characters like her boss/partner, it would have been better. He only existed for some character moments at the end that didn't affect anything enough to truly feel necessary. Other things like that could have been shortened or taken out entirely, and if it was, then the film's pacing could have been fixed, which is one of the biggest problems that is holding it back. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but it's truly that important when it comes to making a film, especially one that tries to have as deep as a storyline as this one. So with all the praise I gave it, it's mediocre at best, and I hate to say that. The shaky cam moments were annoying, some of the scares were predictable, and it just focused on the wrong stuff, especially at the beginning, where first impressions are most important. After the initial decent hook, everything slows down for far too long and wastes too much time on pointless drama that doesn't truly feel integral to the rest of the plot, especially when it never comes back up again. It just felt bloated, and it sadly hurts what could have easily been a 7 out of 10 if it was just formatted far better. Sorry I got off on a rant there, but have you watched it? I doubt it. But I am curious. Let me know what you want me to cover next in the comments below, and let me know if you liked this if you gave it a try. But for more news, reviews, and whatever we choose, stay tuned to Nerdsfeed. Have a great day, thank you.